What's up, everybody? This is Jay Wick with Small Business Stand Up. We got a couple great entrepreneurs here. Hey, tell everybody a little bit about you guys. What city? What do you do? All that good stuff.
We're gonna let the lady go first.
Yes.
Oh, I'm the old lady on. Okay, no pressure.
No pressure.
So my name is Timmy Nida Mitchell. I am located in Charlotte, North Carolina. I do a couple of things. I have a notary business and I'm a loan signing agent. So I have my own business there. And then I also have a property preservation business in which banks and realtors and other mortgage companies will hire my company to go out and preserve properties that are in foreclosure. And so I've been doing that for probably about going on 2 years now. And then I just started and I'm launching the end of this month a medical scrub business, selling medical scrubs online and also direct sales and getting contracts with hospitals in order to sell them some medical scrubs. And then I also am partner with Guarantee Homes, which is a investment company, and we are currently building houses. I also am a wholesaler, and I teach people how to wholesale. So that's just it. That's all.
So I guess the best question is, what don't you do? That's a good thing, though. That's a good
Sleep.
thing.
I'm in my car now working. I sleep. I don't sleep.
You sound like me. You sound
Yeah,
like me. All
definitely.
right. See the drop back off. All right. You want to go ahead, Marquay?
Yeah, my name is Marquin Alberty, owner investing for cowards. I teach anybody who's afraid to build generational wealth, how to build generational wealth. Just the tools, the resources, the mindset, just everything that's not traditional. I'm gonna teach them. I'm gonna instill them. I'm gonna instill it in them. So I love just teaching anybody who's afraid to invest, how to invest, and just build any type of wealth. So
Cool,
Absolutely.
cool.
It's important to invest. Absolutely. All right. What about you, Jay?
Oh man. Uh, See where I'm gonna start. First of all, my name is Jason Sims. Out of Dallas, Texas. A actually real estate investor. But we also do some other investing with multi-housing. We do sourcing, analyzing, negotiating, and executing investment real estate deals now in about 5 different states. And then we also do our mentorship where we help uh, people develop their investment strategies, learn how to study micro, macro, local, regional, national basis for their investments.
Okay.
Awesome.
Hustler. Hustler. Right on time, Miss Sheila. Did you get froze?
She out again.
Yeah. We're gonna get together. We'll get together. So you guys know me. I kinda do the same thing. So I'm a virtual wholesaler, all 50 states, residential and commercial. I'm doing something new right now to capital raising for syndicated deals. Um, I'm a notary public too, online and local. I'm kind of just like I'm like Miss Michelle. I do a little bit of everything, man. So you guys need me, definitely reach out to me, ask me any question. Um, I will be dropping everybody's social media handles and email addresses and all that stuff. So if you see something you like, reach out to us, call in. I just dropped the phone number as well, where you guys can call in and chew me out if I'm not doing something right. I'm cool with that. But just be interactive. Just talk to us. Let us talk to you, and let's make this thing happen. So, all
Uh,
right. So, how was your guys' weekend?
It was great. Mother's Day.
uh,
My kids took me out to eat, and they actually paid.
Oh, is
it's
that
great. Can
right?
I ask y'all this one question? Let me ask y'all this one question since it was Mother's Day. What was the best advice your mother instilled
Wow.
financially?
oh, Mark Quinn,
He
what's
would.
up with you, man? No,
He
I'm just
would
kidding.
hit. He
Huh?
would hit me with that,
you,
man.
you, you.
I just want to know what your mama taught you.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
This month is about the mother. So
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'll
Well.
tell you, I was raised by
Yeah.
my grandparents, and my grandmother and grandfather were both entrepreneurs. So I was learning entrepreneurship from them before I knew what entrepreneurship was. So I believe that that's part of what was actually instilled in me. But some of the most important things was actually my grandmother told me, and this is about men stuff, right? Okay, we're gonna talk about men stuff. Okay, a man should never leave home, right, without a wallet, a pen, okay, nice shoes, and a belt. All right.
Mm.
So that's something that I've always remembered
Nice.
growing up. And a man should never wear pants without pockets. He don't have no pockets, he ain't got no money.
Right.
Okay.
That's true. That's
They
true.
instill some generational principles.
Oh
They
yeah.
instill some generational principles.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I believe a mother's job is to instill generational principles.
Yeah, I mean, it's in any situation, man. I can take what my mama said, man, and apply it to any situation. It's not a date I don't really think about. She passed now, right? So I always think about it, man. Some things she taught me, man, like always be a man. No matter what the situation is, you stand up and be a man. You know what I'm saying? And I take that everywhere I go, man. Everywhere I go. You know, and I read about my grandmother too as well. So she always say manners will take you where money can't. Right? So
Wow.
show them manners, man. Step in them rooms, man, to show respect to people. And you get into some of them doors, even if your money's not as long as theirs. You know, pleasant to be around. People tend to want to help you out or, give you some game or whatever the case is. So, but man, you hit me in the stomach with that one. I wasn't ready for that one, bro. You got me emotional over here, man.
Sorry.
No, hey, I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. You know? So, say, look.
It's just a question I just been asking my audience. I've been getting a lot of feedback. Just mother's been very powerful in the mindset of everybody. So really got to give them that power back.
Yeah, man.
Give them their flowers while they here.
Hands down, man. Mother's job is very hard, man. It's very hard, man.
Yes.
It's very hard. I mean, listen, fathers, if we, I ain't have my father in my life though, but me being in my kid's life, I see our job is hard too, but mothers, man, it's just that it's more, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just the father. For me,
It is. But let me tell you something that I've learned about women in general, right? Because either they're going to become a mother or they're not. But without that, I've always learned that they've been the most resourceful mammal on this earth.
Amen.
Okay? They've been the most resourceful mammals on this earth, which is one of the reasons why majority, if not, well, almost majority of the team that I work with and I build, it's all female.
Yeah, man.
I just know they'll get the work done.
We'll get it done.
Yep. By all means.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I agree with you on that, man. Yeah. Like, unfortunately, like when you're dealing with men or whatever the case is, if you bring a person on working for your team, as men, eventually we're going to want to have that position. You know what I'm saying? Women know how to play their position too, for the most part.
But it's testosterone.
I agree.
If the wheel is round, we got to make it rounder.
Yeah.
As men, we have to make it rounder. I don't know why, but that's what we do.
Yep.
Hey, here's the blueprint, right? Yeah. Give the male the blueprint, give the female the blueprint. We got to go recreate the blueprint. She follows it.
Yeah.
Yep. And then wonder why we ain't successful.
What about you, Marquin? What about you?
The blind. Well, my mother, she just taught me so much. She got me investing in the stock market when I was 8. So she got me entering stock market competition. Like I won so many competition where they gave me capital to just have a great foot in the door at a young age. So she just instilled just the education in me, just the hunger. I always learn something of value. I always have something of service. I always be a part of that in the community. You will always be able to build some type of wealth. It don't have to be financial, but it can be spiritual. So she just taught me the layers behind it.
It's in the eye of the beholder, right? Wealth is in
Most
the eye of the beholder.
one thing we got to do, we got to make sure that we show that respect and that love, that reverence, right, all year round, man. You know what I'm saying? One day, I mean, I can understand why people, do it, especially, well, there's no excuse. If your mom is still alive, man, you got to give her a call. You got to stop through there, cut that grass, whatever you got to do, man. You know what I'm saying? You only get one of them.
Right.
Right. So the first investor in my company was my mom. So shout out to her.
So she gave you the game and invested in your company. You can't beat that, bro.
At all.
That's good, man.
Yes, sir.
She lead by example. So.
All right, y'all. So look, I'm gonna hit you guys with a couple questions, man. And I'm gonna get your true feelings behind it, man. So this is one of the things, man, I've been thinking about for a long time, right? Well, I mean, I can see it happening. I can see it happening today, and I want to know why, man. So the question is, why don't we, us as Black people, support each other's business?
I'm not gonna go first on that one. I'm gonna let Marquin go.
I hear some people in the stomach with that one, man. I tell you what, let me go first. I was a mortgage banker for some years for South Prime Lending in Dallas. At that time, it was like the #1 mortgage company. And I remember I didn't have my own business, but I was not W-2. I was 1099. So let everybody know I'm a mortgage banker. I'm out here trying to make some money, whatever the case is. And a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, he was getting ready to buy a home. And I guess he decided not to go through me. He decided to go through another loan officer. And about a week or so before they closed the deal, the loan officer was trying to get him, right? Hike the interest rate or whatever the case is, trying to put money down, the whole nine, extra money down. He called me up to make sure that they wasn't beating him out his money, right? So can you imagine that? So, I even to this day, it kind of trips me up, right? Even to this day, but I still helped him. I made sure he didn't, they didn't railroad him or whatever the case is. But it was like, wow, man, the nerve of people. You know what I'm saying? You know what I do. Why don't you come through me? I'm gonna make sure you get taken care of. So I had to lay that out on you guys, man. So what do you guys think?
That's often been a question for me, and I even asked someone. I posted on Facebook a couple of months ago, and I was asking, why is it that we just do not support each other in each other's business? Like, I can post something and they will share it. I can post a selfie and I have like 400 likes, but if I post my business, I get maybe like 5 or 6, and I don't understand why. It bothers me because there's enough money out here for everyone. That's how I feel. Everyone can blow up. Everyone can support each other, because we're all, if you put your heart into it, you're going to succeed. There's enough money out here. So to me, it's like, why do we not support each other? I'm still trying to figure that out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
You just got to reprogram the mindset. Like, they just program not to support. So once you see that type of programming going on in the marketplace, you just you come to the marketplace with a different mindset. Like, I'm gonna program them to support. Like Jay, I'm gonna program him to support. To invest. Like, to know my input, to know my brand. Like, they just don't know the program.
The only problem with that, Marquin, is that you can do that for a few minutes, but if they go back to the same environment, it's going to come right back. Yeah. And that's where you have to also instill the things that you were talking about earlier, which is, hey, this is where you want to be, and you got to move that. You got to make the shift, because if they don't make the shift, then they're going to keep not supporting. They're going to continue to not.
You'll be absolutely mad at them for not supporting it. You want to be waking up just with a beautiful spirit every day, based off your support.
Yeah, but they don't know what success look like either. So if you don't know what success looks like, then they can't support anything that they don't have a vision of. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this person, they're doing business, they're doing this, but they don't know what your vision actually is, because they've never thought about it themselves. They don't take the time to think and say, okay, well, this person, okay, just like me, right, is trying to do something to better things for people that are coming after me. See, they're only thinking about themselves right then. They're not thinking about everybody else.
So on a personal level, I just have more accountability. I just support them. I just show them support. I support their business. So it's just about just having that accountability and just showing them that type of support you want.
Right, but you're a different breed. You just told us a few minutes ago your mom did the same thing for you. See, she shifted you into that same mindset, right? But everybody else in other households, they're not getting that. So you came out with that, right? But growing up, what would they say? Oh, I'm not dealing with such and such because, and they'll make up a reason, even though it might not be true. Well, they've been hearing that since they were 4, right? Mm-hmm. And so now they're identifying that one person that did somebody wrong with everybody else of the same ethnic background.
I have a couple of perspectives on that. Can you hear me?
No.
I apologize for the technical difficulties.
No, you okay?
But I think it's 2 things. One, everybody is not there to support you, you know, and really just accepting that your clients is your clients. And, you know, I think that there's this this eagerness as entrepreneurs to want to sell to everybody, to, you know, want to sell 1 million, you know, 1 billion. And you can do that to 1 million, 1 billion people, but know that then there's 6 billion, right? 5 billion that you're not selling to, right? And so just accepting that everybody is just not for you and not going to support you. And then the second thing is mindset. You know, one of the things is just having a scarcity mindset. I can't even think about supporting you when I'm thinking about my needs, you know, my business, my income, and things like that. And so we take it personal, right? Like, oh, why are you trying to come to me to get a discount? You ain't going to, you know, Marc Jacobs to ask them for a discount. But it's really not personal. It's just the looking glass self. Like, you know, they're projecting onto you their need, right? And their need is for you to support them through a discount, through a barter, through something before they can support you. And it's really looking at, we only have 1 piece of pie and there's only 8 slices versus, yeah, you got 1 piece of pie with 8 slices, but if you look up, there's more pies, right?
Yeah.
So we don't have to just share this 1 pie.
What's crazy, you want to have a mindset like, I don't need your support to survive in this business.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. But it's cool to get the support, but I don't need the support just to thrive in this business.
But for all of us, I look at it like this, man. The greatest thing about being, for me, living here in Dallas, Texas, an international city, is I get a chance to see a gumbo of people, right? And you see pockets of people who, let's say the Chinese people, right? They have their own community, got their own bank, they got their own thing. They spend their money with each other. They do their thing. You go on this side, you got the Jewish community. They do the same thing. You go this side, and you don't really see that with us, man. But in order for us to get out of the situation that we in, we got to be able to spend our money with each other. Like if I go to a place, and when I go to a place and I know it's black owned, right? I'm paying full price. I don't want a discount, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying full price. That's just me. But unfortunately, it's not like that with us, man. And we look at other people's ice are colder than ours. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think that's sad, man. Yes.
But you're definitely talking about a tradition, right, that has been passed down throughout over time, right? And we can have this idea that, I mean, I work with every race. And, you know, we have these ideas about how other races function from the outside, right? Just like other races have ideas of how we function from the outside. When the truth is, every race has their dysfunction. Every race has their issues that they're dealing with. But one of the things about support is that we have just been programmed to see one another as enemies, right? That's the first thing. Like, and that's just not even our fault. That's just a cultural dynamic. So knowing that when you choose to start a business, knowing that is one of the dualities that you're going to run into. Just the whole idea that I can't support you because I don't even know how to support me. And then dealing with that on a very compassionate level, like, and it's not even a judgment. Like, I can't even be mad at you for not supporting me. And I think, and the reason I'm taking this perspective, because so many people with great ideas go out of business because the first 100 people that they know don't support them. And it's like, no, don't take that personal. That is not why your business is not thriving. That's just going through the door.
Yeah.
But so many of us lose our momentum and lose our drive because we get no. And then on a deeper level, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Sheila.
On a deeper level, I think we just have to ask ourselves, do I really believe? Because sometimes we're just projecting out into the world that in which we are as well. And some of us don't have a strong belief in ourselves. And it's just easy to blame our lack of support on the people around us and just not take the accountability of, are they just projecting to me myself in what I don't believe already, or my limiting possibilities? Like, do I believe that this business is going to fail and I'm looking for your validation that it won't? Like the opposite? Well, you know, you got to be the change you want to see in the world. You have to believe in your business 180%, if there's a such thing, right? Before you can get one person to believe in it. But so many of us don't really believe in it, and we're looking for validation, like, prove to me I'm wrong. But then when they give it back to you, you don't support me. No, but the reality is you don't really support you, and you don't really believe, right?
But unfortunately, in the hood, right? They will support you if you're doing something wrong. If you're getting ready to go, somebody stepped on your toes, and you're getting ready to go over there and do something to them, you got 4 people in the car with you ready to ride. They find a way to support in that aspect for a lot of time. And I'm talking about a lot of people that I know, man. Like I've called people and said, listen, man, this is what I'm doing. What are you doing to help you out? And nothing. Like, prime example. Like you say, like when Ms. Mitchell was say she posts her stuff right on her site, on social media. Maybe 2 or 3 people repost it. I don't know if you guys ever noticed me. I post everybody. That's just how I operate, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, sometimes my wife get mad at me. Why are you supporting everybody else? Putting that stuff out there, they're not doing yours. I'm like, that's just my mindset, man. I don't really care what people do. You know, when it comes to that, man, I'm just gonna do me. And hopefully it catch fire with some other people, and we get to the point that we become givers to each other, and we all win. But that's the only way we're really gonna win, man. If we kind of do this together. But I'm with you, Sheila, too. You gotta be you gotta have that in you first, right? That go-getter mindset in you first, and be willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. But wouldn't it be such a good thing that, you know, when soon as you open up this business, you got 50 people that's gonna come in and spend some money with you? That'll feel real good to have that. You know what I'm saying?
But that's like saying, and I'm not resisting what you're saying, but that's like saying, I want to go fight Mike Tyson and be the best, boxer, and I just want to show up, right? It's a part of the rejection that you're experiencing is to strengthen you. A part of the journey of being rejected and going through that is to really strengthen your voice, to make you go back to the table. It's like a refining process that you're going through, and it's bringing up all of this yucky stuff in you that has been buried in you. Okay, my therapist, back from a little person, right? And your inner child is just like, somebody come save me. But in entrepreneurship, that's the whole part. You're creating something from nothing, and that thing that you're creating is not, again, like it's some grit that you have to go through to be able to sustain that business.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I agree with everything everybody else saying. I'm just saying this is another seat at the table in a different perspective.
Absolutely. So did we squeeze all the water out of that? So look, we're gonna go in a little further. So this is another question I think we can kind of put with the first question, right? So the question is, can you guys see that? How
Yeah.
long does our money stay in our communities versus other communities? Because they support each other. You know what I'm saying? Think about that, man. What do you guys think about that? Have you ever did the numbers on that or seen the percentage of how long our money stay in our community versus other people?
Never did the numbers on it, but I can tell you it don't.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't.
At all.
I think there's a statistic that said our money stays in our community one time, and then it flips at least 7 times in other communities or 6 times in other communities. $1 does.
Wow.
I think the biggest problem, it got to stay in our pockets first, in our investment account and investment vehicle. So before it get to the communities.
Yeah. So this is Greenwood Bank says 6 hours in our communities, right? 20 days in the Jewish community, 30 days in the Asian community. 6 hours in
6
ours.
hours.
So we go get our money, it immediately go right out of our hands into another community's hands.
But why is that?
Than investing.
A big part of that is that we don't own anything.
Thank you.
That's true. That's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
We are definitely more of consumers in our community. I mean, you have a whole economy that is built off of our community. I mean, conglomerates.
But because we don't support each other is the reason why. It all kind of go hand in hand. If we will support each other, that means be more revenue staying in the community. We able to buy more, build more things, hire more people. Money stay in the community a lot more longer instead of out in 6 hours.
Yeah, we spend more than we invest.
Yeah, other communities call us consumers. We consumers, man. That's a sad situation. That's a sad situation to be the number one consumer in the U.S., probably in the world. You know what I'm saying? That hurt me when I seen that. That hurt me. Because I've heard that before, and I was like, let me do some research on this, man. I seen 6 hours, but it's about right. Because I remember I'm working a 9-to-5 job, and it's like as soon as I got paid, in my mind, okay, I got a little few bucks, but as soon as I cash that, it's all gone. I got enough to go get me a Happy Meal and an ice cream. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't work all the overtime, and I'm done.
It was on purpose. It was systematic, really. Our wealth got stolen from us, so I believe it was systematic. Once you create a nationwide plan that go against the systematic plan that was put into our communities, we'll have that going.
That's true, Marquin, but we don't want to go seek the information.
Not at all.
Because if we go seek the information, then we'd understand that, yes, it is by design, but we're not going to seek the information. You know, and I wish Ms. K was here too. And we've mentioned this on a previous podcast before, that even just with the tax laws, they're not just written for the wealthy. They're written for everybody. So why are we not taking advantage of the same tech laws that everybody has access to? Because we're not going and finding out how we can.
Right. You got to work both sides of the coin.
Right.
You got to work both sides of the coin.
Right. But we're not getting that information. Handed to us. We've got to go look at it. But you know, it's disguised as hard work. So we don't want to do it.
I think it's the money mindset too, right? Like it's really this fear of, I think that a lot of people have a fear of knowledge. Like, you know, if I know that, then I'll have to apply that information, or if I know that, then I'll have to do that thing. And with money, it's just a lot of fear around money. I think that 6 hours that people have, I think it's really this kind of like your relationship with money. So one of the things I had to work on, and one of the things I work with my clients on, is what is your relationship with money? Like, but we have a lot of Christians, we have a lot of people who just feel like, you can't be rich, keep too much money. It's just so many beliefs against investing and wealth building and being rich, and and there's so much projected onto that.
That's that I just think they're trying to protect it. They're trying to protect the look. They're trying to protect the little bit that they got instead of actually using it. Okay, and that's a big difference too that you're saying as well, Sheila, because it's all and you said Christian too, and I'm gonna hit that real quick as well, because we'll talk about that, and we'll say in the beginning there was the word, but the words that we say to ourselves affects our relationship with money. For example, okay, we say spend. Well, you can't spend something and then it comes back. You have to use it. So if we flip those words and say, okay, we're going to use this money, then it'll always come back to us. But that's not a word that we use. We'll say we'll spend it. So you've already given it away.
Even looking at the word currency or investment, or the type of words that they use to talk about money, trust, and all of this, like we use our words, to piggyback off what you're saying, in a very different way. Or I think it's one thing, like I think there's a parable or Bible verse that says like it's easier for something to enter into the eye of a needle than it is
the eye of a camel.
A camel. It's just these very restrictive beliefs, and intelligibly, I just think that we don't realize how that impacts our intelligence, right? These 750 billion cells that have been programmed, not just by you, but by a lineage of DNA that just passed down to you, that we just affirm, and we don't even realize we are affirming these beliefs.
It's also how we interpret it though, right? And say, hey, we're going to go make some money. Well, all four of us that's right here, and I think she's still on audio. But we don't go make money. And we all believe that if we say, we're going to go make some money, but the belief is that the only people that make money work in the mint. We have to earn it based on a product and a service that we offer.
I agree.
Go ahead.
I mean, I think it's a long conversation that has to be had. Even when you ask a person, I asked my marketer, I was like, what if you got $1 million contract? Like, what would you do? She's like, oh my God, I'll be so scared. Like, I wouldn't even know if I would be able to handle that. But having conversations about what does it feel to have 6 figures, 7 figures? What are you going to do with $1 million if you get it? That's like this idea number, right? What would you do with that if it fell on your lap? It's so like far-fetched for individuals to think about that, and it brings up so much fear. And let's just talk about if you grew up in the hood. Most people who have money got busted across the head, robbed, somebody took from them, and so a lot of fear we hold is associated to that. Like, if I get a lot of money, who am I gonna have to take care of? Who gonna try to come rob me? I don't want nobody to know I got this money. I mean, it's so much survival and safety around, what money could bring to me outside of a luxurious life. It's like this fear that money is going to bring problems and, make me the source of somebody's envy or whatever, So.
Yeah. I think you stole my thunder too. That was one of the questions I was going to have. Are we scared of success? If a person told you in the backyard, in your backyard right now, there's $10 million worth of gold, how quickly would you dig that up, even if it's 100 feet down, right? We know if we manage our money right, if we get us some product that people want to purchase, we sell that, we're gonna generate some kind of money. If we help another person, eventually that's gonna come back to us. Like, we know these basic rules, right? But we're not willing to do it for the most part. So are we scared of success? Is that what it is?
Yes, I think we as a whole, we are scared of success. I definitely think so.
Break that down.
Well, it's crazy because I feel that I'm sorry guys, I'm driving, so I can't I didn't want y'all to see me looking crazy while I'm driving. So but I feel as a whole, like, we want to be successful. We see our peers, we see other people are being successful, and we want to be successful. However, it's just the fear of having. I think, like, even for some of my family, I have a lot of successful women in my family, but they're fearful that people are going to ask them for money. People are going to want them to give them this or give them that. And so because of that, they don't want to succeed as much as they can. They don't want, even with my kids, I tell them, you guys are so smart and your potential, you can be anything you want to be, but they're scared to do it because of the outcome of being successful. And I'm trying to instill in them that you can be successful. You can be like your mom. You can do these things, and don't let anything stop you. But they're also listening to their peers. They're also listening to their friends who are not as successful. And so I think a lot of times people, especially some of the people I know, they get content and they get comfortable with their lives and what's going on, and they don't want to reach any further in order to be successful because they're just content.
I think we're content with looking like we got money rather than having it.
Yes.
you
Yes.
know, um,
Yes.
it's sad, man. You know, when I was coming up, man. Well, I say even now, man. When I've learned, man, that money don't look like the way that we put it out there. Like I've seen some people with different races or whatever the case is, man, who have millions and millions of dollars, but you couldn't tell by their attire about what they're driving. You couldn't tell. You know, and it don't look like that, man. See, my thing is, long as I know I can afford it, I'm comfortable with not having it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to look like I got a lot of money or whatever the case is, But I tell you, man, it's very frustrating, man, to see that, man. And because if I'm telling people like in my family, look, here's some steps, man, it takes to get you some money in your pocket and possibly take care of your kids and your grandkids, and they're not willing to grab hold of that. Like, what is the issue? But it's a mindset, like you say, Jason. It's a mindset.
But to whom much is given, much is required. So is somebody scared of success? And one, we have to define what success is. And two, or are they scared of the responsibility that comes with sustainable success? And I think that individuals we start to tap into our inadequacies when we start thinking about the responsibility that comes with making decisions.
Yeah.
And money is definitely a making decision, type of you make decisions with it, where I'm going to do with it, how I'm going to invest it, how much is this product going to cost, how much am I going to pay my staff? Like, it's a lot of decision making around money. The reason it stay in our community for 6 hours is probably because somebody done told you got to pay $120 for your consumer's bill. Your cable bill is this much. You got to pay this much for this. Like, it's a no-brainer. Like, okay, I need $700 so I can pay my bills. And but when we talk about the responsibility that comes with actually thinking through a process, that's challenging.
Yeah. Yeah, because when you do acquire a little bit of money too, you do have that other side to think about, with the taxes and all that stuff. So it is some problems on the other side if you don't know what you're doing. So I agree. I definitely agree with that. Stuff that you don't get taught unless you had a parent or somebody uncle or something like that who had a little bit of money that can kind of help you with that. It could be crazy. It could be crazy. So
and even going through it with yourself. I remember when I hired my first accountant. I'm talking about, I was so nervous, and I knew I felt like I kept my books pretty good, but just her asking me these deeper questions. What did you spend this at? And what did you do with this? And I'm like, I know I got the receipts. Well, I feel like I'm going to jail. Like, it was just this very much ooh, you in trouble. Like, you spent that money there. Was I supposed to spend it there? When you start to get responsible with money, like I said, it's really an inner journey when we start talking about our relationship with money and how we're going to use it, and all of this gook that comes up, for individuals. Now we lived in poverty. We had to keep our house heated sometimes by the stove. So when we talk about money, going from very, 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 dire situations to, okay, how much am I going to pay my assistant, or how much am I going to pay for this building? Like, and having that in one 20-year span, and nobody in my family, my close immediate family, has that. This has been a personal journey, my journey with money, and it hasn't been an easy one.
Yeah.
And I'm well educated, but money still was and still is, one of those critical spaces that triggers emotions. And I just think that people don't realize emotions is such a big part of our life,
Yeah.
And it stops us from doing so many things when we don't know how to really manage it.
Yes.
And we want to separate it. We want to say business is business and personal is personal, and this and this and this. But it's really not. It's an integrated system.
Yeah. Man, this is powerful, man. This is powerful. Marquin, I'm gonna put you on the spot, man. Are you there? Are you there? Did he freeze on us?
Yes, I'm here.
What do you suggest in that situation, man? As far as like a vehicle to use, let's say for a person who want to be successful, right, or acquire a little bit of wealth or whatever the case is. What are some things that you can use, man, as an investment tool or a vehicle that they can use with a little bit of money and a length of time can grow them some generational wealth?
I say the easiest, most simple, most less time consuming way is the stock market. Learn how to create a dividend portfolio and just learn how to start getting $10 to work, $20 to work, $100 to work. Just start learning how to get different forms of capital to work. So one great vehicle is the stock market. One great vehicle is the stock market.
Is there a book that you suggest or recommend? Did we lose you? I think we lost him. I think we lost him. You breaking up? You breaking up?
Yeah.
Yeah, you still breaking up. Okay. Okay, yeah, you still breaking up a little bit. But okay, so right here, man, Kay was gonna do like a little 5-minute thing about, she had a thing that she wanted to kind of to bring to our attention for investors to invest money in. But I tried to text her, but she didn't return my text, so we're gonna kind of skip over that for a minute. So remember, Jason, what we used to do is Kay's tax tips. So she was gonna kind of go in there for a little bit, about 4 or 5 minutes, to kind of really break it down, some things that we could be doing to accumulate some wealth. So Marquin, are you there? All right. So I know we ran a little late here. So all right. What we're gonna do too, we're gonna run off a couple hot topics, things that's in the news, right? So the first one is, let me see if I can hit this bad boy. I'll tell him it's not showing up. It's not showing up here. Well, Elon Musk, right? He just bought Twitter for $44 billion. What's your thoughts on that?
Good for him.
On that?
Marquin, you got a bad signal over there, brother.
Break it up. Yeah, you break it up pretty bad.
All right, I'm just fall back.
So my thoughts is, okay, so if you got $44 billion to pay for, correct, $44 billion.
Wow.
So if you got $44 billion to spend on something, how much money do you really have, man? That's a lot of money, man.
A lot.
Well, depends on how he bought it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Depends
I
on
guess
how
I
he
guess you
bought
could.
it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I ain't think about
come
that.
on, real
That's a
estate
fact.
minds.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
Come on, real estate minds. Depends
that's a
on how he
fact.
bought it.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, you could have owner financed that bad
Yeah, he
boy.
could have owned and financed it, man. So depends on how he bought it.
Least with the
Things look
option to
real
buy.
different on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And then
Right.
it's the why he
wow.
bought it.
It's the
Yeah.
Why
why.
did he buy Twitter for $44 billion?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Do we
Control.
know?
that's
Control
the
of the conversation.
that's the 40.
He wanted to control the narrative.
Control. Yep. So there's
Wow.
something there's something underlying that probably the public doesn't know yet. So get ready. And
Mhm.
it's gonna hit. But this is a means to an end of something else. So
Mhm.
wait for it.
Yeah. All this about this free speed, all of this about freedom to
Freedom of
speak
speech.
and kicking people off of platforms because of what they got to say. And
Yep.
I mean, I just feel like it's just, so he believes in freedom of speech. So I'm just like, okay, we finna see how this finna switch up how we communicate and what we communicate.
Yeah. Wow. I
Yeah.
just thought when I read that, I was like, $44 billion, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be buying anything if I had $40 billion, man. For what? I don't even want no headache, man. Hey, but that he got more money in some countries. Like that's more money than some countries have.
But I think you bring up a
Say it again.
big thing. I think you bring up a big when you said if I have $44 billion, I wouldn't be buying nothing. But I think when you get that amount of money, you
Doesn't
just
matter.
still a human being. You still got goals every day. There's still an appetite for life. Just like you gotta eat every day. It's like once I eat that steak and lobster, I don't gotta eat no more meals. Like, no. Especially as a creator, you still creating, and you understand by the time you get to creating 44 billion, you understand that one, whatever I'm finna do is going to create and generate sustainable wealth for me, whatever decision I'm going to make. But at that point, you looking for the next great thing or the next thing to top the last thing, like. And I think that we think like once I get to $1 million or once I get to 5 million, like I'm gonna retire. I mean, Oprah didn't even retire when she came from the OWN show. Like she went and bought a whole channel, right? Because you still live. There's still a driving force in you that wants to interact and wants to create.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Your life still got to have purpose. You can't sit back and say I'm just gonna be on the beach. That's gonna get old.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would be. I would.
Elon.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'm gonna put this out there because here's my opinion. I was just thinking about it for a minute. I think that he's gonna use Twitter as a communication basis when it comes to SpaceX. Because if he's trying to put people or send people to Mars,
yes,
through satellite, they'll be able to communicate, and that could be the platform for it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, it's worth 44 billion then.
Yeah.
Or build your own platform,
Mm-hmm.
But the people are already there. Why not just buy what's already in place? So
exactly.
Yeah. Wow, man. So we still been thinking about trying to get the next $100,000. His mind was way out there, man. He's about $44 billion. Ooh, that's a lot of money. I missed one of my questions though, so I tell you, let me go back to my question before we finish up these hot topics. Okay, you have anything, Miss Michelle, on that topic real quick?
No, I'm good.
Okay, let me go back to my topic because I know Miss Sheila had touched on this a little bit, and see if I can show it right quick. I'm still working on it, man. I got a little better, man. So y'all gotta give me my props. You're rough on me. Okay, where's it at here? Okay, the question is, where's that? Okay, so in business, when is the time to hire, and why is it important to hire a person?
When is it time to hire?
When is it time to hire?
somebody.
And why is it important to hire?
Why is it important to hire the right person?
Well, I think I heard y'all podcast, right, immediately, but I heard the podcast that you sent through our messenger, and I think Jason was talking about hiring the right person, right? Like,
I think we kind of talked on both of them just a little bit. But again, immediately. Because the self-made people that say self-made, that's just a title of something because they're the front line of it. No one's ever self-made. Okay. We have to be able to bring someone in so that we can take care of those other things that need to be done while we focus on the things that we're great at. So it needs to be immediately. And why is it important to hire the right person? And I think Warren Buffett said this, right? You want to hire the right person because if they don't have your same vision in mind, okay, they have the education, but if they don't have the same goals and vision in mind that you do, they'll use that education to take you out of business.
Wow, that's true. So meaning they're get their own business and take your spot basically.
Exactly. Well, not even just that, but if you got to have that right person that's going the same direction that you're headed in. And that's one of the things that, we do with our acquisition people here. And I tell them up front, even when I'm doing their interview, I don't want you to work for me forever. Yeah. Your job is to come here and take information and learn and develop and then venture out on your own. And I will help you with that. I don't want you to be here. Okay. Because I can always find someone else that can come right back in after you. But if I'm providing you with the information that you need, then yeah, I want to get rid of you because you're going to get bored and tired anyway.
It's funny, man, that you say that because I had never heard nobody actually say it that way, but it made a lot of sense, man. My thing now is to, if you in my business, right? I've had a couple people that work for me. If you help me get what I'm trying to accomplish, I'm gonna help you with your goals too. So part of my hiring process is what do you want to do? What are you passionate about? So we can help each other. So when you go that extra mile for me, ultimately that's applied to what you got going on too. So it's like a win-win. So I think that's effective, man. I think that's really effective. But then you run across some people, they just want to work for you.
But that also
I make sure I take care of
them. Yeah, that also gets them to ask questions.
Yeah.
And curious about what it is that you're actually doing, because now they know that they're not just getting that information to do what you're asking them to do. They're getting that information because it's going to apply to them later.
So Jason, I have a question for you.
All right.
So the question was, when is it time to hire somebody? So when you went to hire your first person, did you know what you needed them to do?
Yes.
Or was that a process for you?
Yeah, I knew what I needed them to do. Because at that point, I've already gone through all of the steps and the processes of where I knew we needed to get to. Now all I had to do was chunk that into a position and give it a name. And now this is your process. This is your procedure.
Because I think that is another process. How do you hire the right person? And what do you know? How clearly defined are the objectives that you have for them? What do you need them for?
Right. Yeah. And you know that based on what you're doing. So you're kind of, in a sense, hiring a mini me. Okay. To a certain point, but also know that they're coachable. And once you've got that person that has almost the same mindset and due diligence as you do, but they're also coachable and teachable, now you've got a good candidate. Now, I'm not saying that's the right hire. I'm saying you have a good candidate.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I think that on backside of that, a lot of us that control, right? When is it good to hire a person right up jump? When is it good to start paying yourself right up front? But that's a whole nother conversation. But I think you also have to be able to relinquish some control, right? Like you have to be able to take off some of these hats, which again is a mindset. I have to do everything. I have to put everything, on myself to do versus allowing and trusting someone else to take that
right.
responsibility.
But if there's no, if there's no trust, then that means in some cases, a lot of people don't trust themselves. Mm-hmm. And when they don't trust themselves, then they can't hire the right person because they'll never trust them because they see what they see in themselves in that person. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. So, because we're a merciless mirror of ourselves, and we attract those people too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this stunts growth.
Yeah. As a leader, that's a key component too, to be able to delegate. It's important. Yeah. Very important. Mm-hmm. My thing is, when you first get into business, right, you may have that one or two things that is actually bringing in revenue. You may have to put, you don't want to put that aside to be working in your business, right? You need to hire somebody else to do that type of stuff for you, so you can focus on the thing that's bringing in money. So when you get to that point to where that other stuff is too much, it's time to bring somebody in, right? It's time to bring somebody in to take care of a lot of this. And you know what I'm saying?
Well, I was talking to a peer the other day.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. Well, I was talking to a peer the other day, and she said, why is it all these seminars for like new businesses? Like, what about for the people who've been in business for like 5 years or 10 years, who are past like the
growing pains of business.
Yeah. I mean, because it's a core of us out here who still need help. And I said, but by the time you get to 5 and 10 years, it's a mindset at that point. It's not about, because each time your mind shifts, then it's a refining process in your business, how you hire people, what you're looking at, what your needs are. And that's when you start to look at more one-on-one, kind of like your person as the individual, as the leader versus, and you can do that in a group setting, but it's more about specific to you as a business leader and not these are the steps that you need, right? In the first 3-5 years, you need your business plan, your DUNS number, your EIN, you're trying to go through the paperwork process. But we know when the paperwork is done, now this is where the unique dynamic of who you are now is on display. And so you have to go out and get a coach. You hear me talking about coaching a lot because I am a coach, right? So we really do have to start to invest. One of those things we have to invest in is ourselves, in what our limiting beliefs are, or just educate ourselves,
But hey, Coach Shiela, one of the things too, and I've mentored people in reference to business as well, is what I find out is those seminars, they're there and they're looking for someone to tell them what's next. So that means they don't have the vision of what their business looks like to know that the seminar doesn't fit them, because it might. Mm-hmm. So they need to have that vision first, and then they'll be able to find what they actually want, but they never have it.
They never have it.
Okay. One thing that we do in our company is we have a planning period every year. From September to December is our planning period. Mm-hmm. And we determine what we want to do and what we want the business to look like in 5 years. And then we try to implement that and test it and beta test that during those months up until December. And if it works, then we roll it out for January. And that's every year.
Mm-hmm. Who's been holding your hand? Who's been holding your hand?
Who's been holding my hand?
Business, in business, like ain't nobody gonna help you to the finish line. So right. Who's been holding your hand?
Yeah, somebody's been coddling them, right? Mm-hmm. And giving them the step-by-step and the information and the things that they think that they need to do. But in all actuality, I've met people that have been like that. And then once I talk to them and they were like, oh, I could increase my revenue this much. Right. Mm-hmm. But you were still going off of somebody else's base model, but not off the vision that you had in mind for your business. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So was holding you back. Yeah, it was holding you back. They're still doing things that was 10 years ago. It still works. But if we did a little bit more tweaking here, you would have saw this growth, and then you would have been light years ahead of your competition with what you call.
Right. Which I think goes back into Jay's question. When do you hire a person? When you know your vision, then you automatically know, like, well, I need this, I need this, I need that, right? One of my mentors told me, you know, find the vision, get the vision, what do you want to do, and then take away the way you think it should look, right? In the process of actually developing, you may think you're going to talk to Jason, but you may end up talking to Jay about that, right? So don't be so hooked on the mechanics of it, like the check boxes, more than you have the vision. And I don't think people understand vision is creating the space, right? It's like the blueprint for the house you want to build, right? If you don't have a blueprint, what you're going to do, what these rooms are going to look like, what's the size, what's, you know, is it 2 stories, right? You need to give somebody a vision. And so a vision is really like this blueprint that we're creating for this space that we're trying to create in. And, you know, and it's so important. And it ain't even a right or wrong. Like, you can't have a right or wrong vision, right? Right? It's like, it's the vision. Right. Okay, we can tweak it along the way. Hey, you know what? We thought we can make this room 20 by 40, but we only can do like, but you don't know if you can even tweak it until you actually get to it. So, you know, vision, you know, I think the Bible said, right, the vision make it plain, right? And just go with it. And I think that's that other thing. We want to be right. So I want to make the right vision. It's like, there's no right
wrong to it, right? That's why we're imperfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The vision wasn't for us to be perfect. That's why you're here, Sheila. Miss Williams, you still on the line too? That's why you young ladies are here. Most people don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay? I'm listening, Jason.
In the beginning, he made man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then he created woman. See, woman is a better version of the man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Me and my personal assistant over here, like, what Jason about to say about the woman?
Yeah, that's where that, you know, we have to understand that it is not perfect that way. And if he can make those issues and those mistakes, then we have to be able to do that too.
Right. Or those improvements. And I think those are the type of words we got to start using, right? Mm-hmm. Not the issues or mistakes, but we are here to make improvements, right? We test, we retest. Not to say you got something wrong, but where do we need to improve at? And even shifting to those type of conversations, I think will open up a whole avenue of, you know, different possibilities.
Right.
In business, you got to make sure that you are that you have that 10,000 overall view of everything going on. You be able to see one eye focus on what's going on right now and focus on what's about to happen in the future.
Let me tell you what the word is for that. Let me tell you what the word is for that, Jay. It's called intelligent objectivity. It's where you step outside of it to be able to look in. Yeah, that's what that's called. Intelligent objectivity. Take a minute and step outside yourself. Look in so that you can actually really make a roadmap of, hey, this is where I see me. Okay. But most people don't know where they are now, so they don't know where they're going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's what separates a person from getting past that 2 or 3 year mark to get to that 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 year mark. Mm-hmm. If you don't have that vision, you're out of there. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I tell you, I'm trying to think. I've been rolling now for about almost 8 years now. About almost 8 years. I put my head down and focused. You know, so it feels good, man. So now
you was able to do that though, Jay. You was able to do that, but people don't know how to say no. Okay, they got everybody pulling at them, right? Hey, man, come on, let's go here. Hey, and they will stop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then they get stuck. Okay, but see, it's okay. You know, it's okay to lose them people along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because they don't want you to do better. Mm-hmm. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future.
That was real. That was hard for me. I can't lie. That was hard for me. But
it's the hardest part of it all.
Yeah.
It's the hardest part of it all.
I think, Jason, you hit it on the head. You hit the nail on the head, because I think that we don't realize a part of entrepreneurship is who we're becoming on the journey, you know? And that's also the vision that you're writing too, not just for your vision, not just for your business, but
Right.
what do you want to do, right? Because so many times we're so like you said, Jay, in the business every day, trying to do everything versus working on the business. And the whole idea is to get out the way of the business so the business can function in a way where you can have your freedom back, right? Your time, right? And be able to invest that into either a different business or a different way of investing. But these are long-term strategies. You know, we live in Saginaw, Michigan. I live in Saginaw, Michigan. So 20 years ago, they had a plan to build up our downtown. I mean, downtown was like horrible, right? But they have put a plan in place 20 years ago. This is what we're going to do. And they still have things that they're planning on doing. Nobody believed it. Like, you know, they're going to bring these condos down here and they going to, you know, do all this stuff. Nobody believed them.
But what business
soon
plan
as
doesn't
it
have a
started
vision?
working, yeah, but as soon as they started doing it, it's like, oh my gosh, like they're just, no, this has been the plan, right? And so when I always heard this guy, Brandon Burchard, said, we overestimate what we can do in 1 year, and we underestimate what we can accomplish in 3 years, in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, you know? And so I'm like, okay, you 30. They feel like their life is over. 30, I'm getting old. I'm like, but what do you want to be at 50? Like, do a 20-year plan. Like, do a 10-year plan, right? Me, I'm 43. What do I want to be at 63? What do I want to be doing, right? And really looking at it from this long-term perspective versus just tomorrow.
Yeah. I think thinking about not doing that, it's like what I want to say basically, it's poverty mindset, I would say. When you just looking at for tomorrow or today we're gonna eat and party, and tomorrow whatever happens, you'll never have anything. You gotta collect all those nuts, right? So when that winter hit, you can have something to eat later on. You know what I'm saying? Or so.
Part of it is fight, fight, or freeze. I'm just gonna get this last little thing. We have what's called fight, fight, or freeze. So you have like what's called a reticular activation system in your brain, right? And what that does is
fight,
it is
fight, or freeze.
Fight,
say that one more time.
Or free. Fight, flight, or freeze, right? Either you gonna fight the situation, you gonna flight, like get out the way, or you gonna freeze, you're gonna pause, right? So everybody has this reticular activation system in the back of their brain, and it's there for survival. Your brain is your frenemy. It wants to keep you where you're at right now at all times, right? That is a survival mechanism, and it's there to really help you, right? But if you don't know that, and you get in a situation, and that reticular activation is like, okay, this is threat. People don't even realize that change is a threat. It's a threat to the current state that I am. So if you telling me my money can go from, 40,000 to 120,000, that's a change in what I'm able to do, who I'm able to be, my lifestyle. That is going to trigger fight, fight, or freeze in you. And if you're not aware of that, then you're going to think it's going to in the brain is so fancy because it'll make up stories for you of why you don't need this and why this is not going to work out for you and why this person ain't your friend and why you don't need to hire this person, because it just wants to keep you where you are, and it's doing it to keep you safe, and so you have to be the we're going to do something different, And I think that's the biggest thing that we just need to realize, that a part of this transition in life is also changing against the norm of not just your life, but this culture of tradition. And it ain't just the people around you that don't want that. It's something in you that don't want that.
Coach Sheila, you preaching. You are dropping. You are dropping it. I needed to hear some of that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to point the finger and say, "Oh, Mama don't support me," or John don't support me. But no, it is actually something in you right now that's not supporting you, that wants you to be and wake up the same way you was yesterday, and that is by design. That's to keep you safe.
Want to figure
That
out
is.
yourself and become more powerful.
Yeah, and you just gotta choose something different, and then let yourself know, and we okay, and we gonna be okay, because everything's working for our good. So we gonna do something different today, than we did yesterday, and we gonna slowly, incrementally do this thing different. And that's what we make our habits, and our habits make us. And when we start to make habits that are in line with the type of life that we want to live, financially, mentally, emotionally, and in our health, we'll see a whole different life.
That is so true.
Facts.
All right, Coach.
Yeah, that is so true.
All right. So our last hot topic here. This is gonna be a touchy one for some people here, but we're gonna go ahead and do it for the culture. Let me see. Let me see if I can do it here. This is for the culture. It's not showing up. Let me see.
His name showing up.
Is it not showing up?
Yeah.
I can't see it.
Kevin Samuels?
I don't see it. Y'all see it? Yeah.
Not anymore.
Y'all thoughts? Give me your thoughts on Kevin Samuels.
Great individual.
Okay.
Kevin Samuels been a big part of my success. He's been mentoring, investing, pouring. It's a tremendous loss. Shout out to everything he was doing as well for our community.
I know this was kind of like a monkey wrench, but I had to throw this in there because it's a hot topic, right? We want to end the show definitely with a couple of hot topics. So if you're not comfortable with talking about them, that's cool. I get it. What do you guys think?
I'll be honest with you. I didn't know him. I didn't know him before he died. So I had no idea who he was.
Yeah, I didn't know him as well. I just hear a lot of controversy since he's died all of a sudden, but I didn't know anything about him, to be honest with you.
Well, I definitely listened to him a couple of times. I think that people have the followers that they have. It's a duality in life. People gonna like you, and people not gonna like you. And the people who loved him, and the people who didn't.
Yeah. He definitely was a polarizing individual, right? And he's to say the least, right? And he the way he talked is the way a lot of men talk in the barbershop. He was just bold enough to actually say it on a stage where people can see it, right? so I just thought it was something to throw out there, man. So salute to that man's family. It's a tough.
So he bring up the term high value man. Is that what?
Yeah, he
what men talk about, or?
About that.
No.
Well, I can say that a lot of people, a lot of men, or whatever the case is, right, have been laying dormant for a lot of years. I would say because of the surroundings, the things that we have to deal with from time to time, right? We don't speak up as much as we should, or that we did back in the day. And basically, what he did, he actually basically kind of woke up some people, right? You remember? I don't even really know the Lion King that well, but I remember this part when he was telling Simba, or whatever his name is, that you're a lion, right? Like, get up, man. Take care of your family, take care of your wife, take care of your kids. Get up. And that's kind of what I took from it. So some of the stuff I didn't agree with wholeheartedly. Some of the stuff it was right on point. You know what I'm saying? So I just what they say, you chew up the meat, spit out the bones. That's kind of what I did.
I'm telling you, I had to ask my wife, like, I mean, who is Kevin Samuels? And then she told me, and I was like, well, okay, whatever. Because I had never heard of him. So had no influence on my life, and wasn't nobody around me talking about him, so I didn't know.
Yeah. But I know it's definitely a hot topic, and I didn't mean to kill the mood with him. But you did.
Out there, man. No, I don't think you killed the mood. I don't think you killed the mood.
Everybody has their own opinion about a lot of people, so it's not. I don't know the man like that, and some people are going to always agree with people, and some people are going to disagree with them, but that doesn't mean that you hate them for it. It's just that's what their opinion is, you know. And we heard that before, right? Opinions are like buttholes. Everybody's got one. That's his.
Yeah.
Okay, and whatever, brother. Do your thing.
To wrap it back to business, though, this is the importance of having a niche, right? He had a specific niche that he spoke to. He let you know who that niche was. This is who I'm talking to. If you don't want to hear it, get off my show, right? Because he understood everybody's not going to like me. And just because you don't like me, don't mean that I don't have something to say to the people that do like me, right? And so just kind of 360 for the show, we started off, why don't people support you? And with Kevin Samuels, he had a lot of people who didn't support him, but he had a whole lot, probably less people who supported him, but they supported him, and it didn't deter him from saying whatever it was he needed to say.
Yeah, it really made him more powerful.
Yeah, and he just zoomed in on the people who wanted to hear. This is who I'm talking to. If you ain't trying to hear what I gotta say and you don't like what I gotta say, get off my phone, get off my line.
Right.
And I think if we took that type of mentality into our businesses, if you don't like my product, if you don't like it, go. We would be a lot more successful.
Yeah, build my own community that rock with me, and let's go.
And let's go.
And the haters serve as fuel for you, right? They just your marketing team for the most part. So I know we started late, and I got some great questions for you guys next week, man. So you guys, y'all like your social media handles and all that good stuff, how you can be reached and all that good stuff, man.
Man, just call me. 972-220-8104.
Absolutely.
This is my social media handle. You got to give your number one more time, Jason.
972.
One more time,
220. 972-220-8104.
And then you can reach me at my social media handle, I Am Shaping Solutions. At I Am Shaping Solutions.
And for me, for now, it's better to just call or text me too. And that's 980-337-0513.
And just hashtag the 30-year grind. Hashtag the 30-year grind. Look up the 30-year grind. You will see everything I have going on with everything. Hashtag the 30-year grind.
30-year grind. Like that. 30 like that.
The
30 years.
THE 30-year grind. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, man, it's been a good one, man. A lot of good topics. Hopefully somebody out there learned some stuff today. About our money, man, how we need to, reinvest into our communities. How it was shocking when I did the research on how quickly our money go out our community, man. 6 hours, man, versus other people. That's mind blowing. But it's sad but true. So, but business is it, man. I love business. I know everybody on here love business, man. And if anything I can do for you, whether you come and spend money with me or not, shoot me a text. 972-836-9814. If I can ask you a question, I will. If you need to get in contact with anybody on the screen here, I can shoot you their information. Let me know. Let's make some money together, guys.
All right.
Awesome.
Hey, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, no
doubt.
Hey,
do me a favor. So everybody that wasn't on today, can y'all text them and tell them they missed a good one for me? So y'all missed a good one. Talking to
Tony as we speak.
Oh, you talking? What happened to Tony, man?
He had an appointment. He just couldn't make it. He had an appointment.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you guys. You guys have a great rest of your evening. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Take care, guys.
Peace.
Take care.
Bye-bye.